Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another review. This time we have the Hasbro Marvel Gamerverse Spider-Man PlayStation 4 2-pack with the 3 3/4 inch Spider-Man from the game and the Mr. Negative from the game. So I don't actually collect 3 3/4 inch. I have a handful of them. I have the Amazon exclusive Sinister 6 set. I have the Homecoming Spider-Man, the 3 3/4 inch. And I have like the black costume Spider-Man and some others that I ended up giving to my kids. But I picked up this 2-pack because I absolutely love the game. We don't have the 6-inch Spider-Man figure yet. So for now, this will have to do until I get that 6-inch figure. But I think this is actually a pretty cool 2-pack, even though it is 3 3/4 inch. And there's some very disappointing things about these figures. But it is still a cool little set, and I'm such a fan of the game. Absolutely amazing game. I did complete it 100% both on the story, game progress, as well as the trophies. A handful of games that have I ever actually done that with. Spider-Man PS4 is one of them, so I love the game. So really cool packaging. You see we have the Marvel Gamerverse logo down there, the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 logo at the top. You see some images of Spider-Man from the game, so really cool. You see Spider-Man, Mr. Negative. And then here on the back of the package, we have a look at Spider-Man. It says, as he seeks to defend the city he calls home, Spider-Man crosses paths with Mr. Negative, the ruthless gang leader of the Inner Demons and one of the most dangerous threats to ever sweep through New York. So really cool. So let's get right to it, open it up, and take a look at the figures. Okay, guys, here are the figures out of the package. Some really cool things and some things that are slightly disappointing, but here they are. So real quick, I just wanted to show you guys this cool little cutout that's actually inside the packaging. It shows the streets of New York. So I thought that was pretty cool. I did forget to mention that I did pick this up at Target. It's not exclusive to anywhere, so only that very first 2-pack of Iron Man and Mega Man was at a Target exclusive, but you can find these. People have been spotting them at GameStop, Meijer or Majors, or whatever it's called, that's out in the Midwest and other areas, not in Northern California. And then I believe some people have found some at Walmart as well. So these are going to be everywhere. So it shouldn't be too hard to get. The other figures are the Black Widow and Ryu, however you pronounce it. And then the other one that has the, I think it's Captain America and the Collector or someone else. You guys have to correct me. Let me know down in the comments below. But still pretty cool. But let's get some closer shots of the figures because I want to point out some of the things that are really actually pretty disappointing. But I want to talk about the good and the 2-pack. Alright, so here's a close-up look at the Spider-Man figure. Now, I actually really like the advanced suit from the game. It's nice that it takes inspiration from the movies and the comics as well to give us a new original suit. So pretty cool. I really like it. In figure form, it looks great. I really can't wait for that 6-inch figure. I think it's going to be awesome. Now, this 3 3/4 inch figure is okay. It's good. It's a good fill-in until the 6-inch figure comes in. My only gripes about it are going to be in some of the paint apps. And for all you 3 3/4 inch collectors, is it normal for the paint apps to be a little off in some places? Because I only have a handful of 3 3/4 inch, I can't say for sure. But there's a couple of things that really stand out to me. So here on the white spider logo in the front, you could see some of that red come through. Right at where the curves of the body mold and the muscles and the abs and the chest, you can see that it kind of misses the spot. But I also see that on some 6-inch figures, namely the new Magneto's leg, and then actually in the Phoenix and Cyclops 2-pack on Cyclops' leg, I believe there was a spot where the shading kind of missed the mark. So it's not terrible, but it's definitely noticeable because it's right in front of the figure down the middle. I saw 1 or 2 other packs of this 2-pack at the store, and they were both the same way. And then also the red bleeds through a little bit on the head of the spider there. It's not terrible, but it's noticeable. The white on the forearms is a little fuzzy towards the back. So that kind of, it's not terrible, but again, it's definitely noticeable. The black web lining is pretty solid throughout the figure, except here on the right arm, you can see it kind of overcomes into the blue there, misses the mark a little bit here on the back. The left arm is actually pretty good, so it's mainly just on the right arm. The red, the blue kind of is bleeding through a little bit on these shoulders. Throughout the rest of the figure, it's not bad. It's just really on the shoulders. The legs are painted nicely. There on the back of the figure, the white logo looks pretty good. However, when you move the diaphragm joint up, you could see that they stopped painting the spider legs. They didn't even continue on. It is the back of the figure, so it may not be so much an issue for those doing photography with these size figures. But, you know, it's noticeable. It's there. Here on the front, when you kind of move the diaphragm joint back, and you really have to force it to where it becomes an issue. You see the spider legs do stop. The body of the spider continues on, but then does stop. But you have to force it there, so it shouldn't be an issue on there. It works out well. As far as the articulation, the head can move side to side because, again, this is the good body mold where they had kind of a number of points of articulation. He can look his head up that much. He can look down all the way. Shoulders come out that far. You get full rotation, of course. There is an upper bicep swivel. Single jointed elbow that gives you a little bit more than 90 degrees, and then you can actually hyperextend him a little bit, and it kind of goes down. So it works out pretty well. No ab crunch. There is the diaphragm joint, which gives you actually a full rotation for the figure. So you can't really pivot so much. You could kind of just move forward, move back a little bit, and then just kind of do the twist and turn. So the waist swivel is there as well. Hip joints are just like the 6-inch figures, but you get limited range of motion, so they only come out that far. Try and force it, you're going to get some of that thigh gap on that on the upper thigh cut. So upper thigh cut, while we're talking about it, double jointed knee works out quite well. Boot swivel or calf swivel there, so that's nice. Foot hinges up slightly, hinges down a little bit, but you do get a solid ankle pivot. So these figures actually have very similar articulation to the 6-inch figures, so that works out great. The wrists have a swivel. There is no hinge on these wrists. Left arm is the thwipping hand, and it just stays in that position. Right, the left arm is just a fist. Now he comes with one accessory, and that's the only accessory for the entire 2-pack, and it's this webbing, and it looks pretty good, and I think it's new. I don't recall any 6-inch figures having this. I could be wrong. You guys let me know down in the comments below. It's just done in a semi-translucent pearly looking plastic. There's no paint to it or anything like that, but it's sculpted nicely, and you can see it just clips onto Spider-Man's forearm like so, and it looks like, you know, he's shooting a big some webbing there. Now somebody asked me, Eric the Duck asked me on Instagram, if you can actually put it on and does it work with 6-inch figures. So here is Pizza Spidey, and you could see that you can clip it on and it actually works out pretty well if I get it there. So that's not bad. And if we zoom out, you could see it works out pretty well. You know, it just doesn't really come out as far, but it works out pretty well. Now, the part where it actually clips onto the arm, it stretches it a little bit, so you don't want to leave it on there too long, but I'm sure if you get some hot water treatment, you can kind of get that back into place. So it's a nice little touch. So it works with 6-inch figures, just not very long. So works out pretty well. So that's the Spider-Man figure. Now let's look at Mr. Negative. Now this is a good figure, but there's some things about it, and you guys will have to let me know in the comments below as I try to focus in. Has this body mold been used before on 3 3/4 inch Marvel Universe figures, or the rebranding into the Marvel Legends? Because this is not game accurate. It looks pretty good, but I wish it were accurate, because first of all, in the game, Mr. Negative does not have the vest. I believe it's just a regular suit. So it may, and I don't know, my tie is actually all kind of bent up in there. I don't know if that's probably just because of mine and how it was placed in there and the vest clipped on. So the vest piece is actually one solid piece with the jacket. But you can see that there is a diaphragm joint similar to the Spider-Man in there. But I believe in the video game it was only it was only the jacket, no vest, because he was wearing a normal suit. You guys let me know down in the comments below, but off the top of my head, my memory, there was no vest. You can see it just clips right back on together. The color scheme is accurate for Mr. Negative, though, because he does have black hair regular, and then when he's powered up, he has the white hair, and the skin tone looks a little silvery metallic, but I think it comes off nicely. The white shirt turns to black, the black suit turns to white. So I do like it. It does look pretty good. Just minimal paint on here, a little bit of black for like a handkerchief for his coat there. The upper torso is done in all black. There's no waist swivel on here, so it looks funny because this white portion actually looks like it's painted over the black. So it comes off a little bit dark and really doesn't match the legs or the arms of the suit. And it looks kind of funny because it's definitely noticeably a different color But again, that's because they painted over it. The sculpt is quite nice, so you can see the belt sculpted in there, even though they didn't paint it. But you got to watch out because you might get some paint scuffs like that. You can see some of the black coming through, and then there's a spot there. So it's not bad. Usually you would think you would use the white color and then paint the black over it, but then they would definitely have had to use a little bit more. No, that's actually about even. They should have used white plastic and then painted this lower part of the torso with the black instead of using the black torso and having to paint white for the crotch. They should have done that the other way around, but who knows why Hasbro makes the decisions that they do. Let's go over the articulation. His head can look up a little bit, can look down a little bit as well. You get a full swivel for the head. Shoulders come out. They go all the way up, actually. Full rotation. There's no bicep swivel, but there is a swivel at the elbow. It is a single jointed elbow, as all these 3 3/4 inch ones are. You get a full 90-degree wrists swivel. He comes with trigger fingers, but no guns, so there's no additional accessories for Mr. Negative at all. Again, diaphragm joint, so he can actually bend down quite a bit. Goes back ever so slightly, but the coat's actually going to get in the way of that. There's no waist swivel again, but legs come out kind of far to the point where you could just take it right off. So let's pop that right back on in there, like so. So not a whole lot of range of motion in there, because then it could tell that this leg just wants to pop off again. No upper thigh cut. You get a single jointed knee, which gives you less than 90, so not a whole lot there. You get the leg kick out quite far. There's a swivel at the foot. There is a hinge, but no ankle pivot actually on these feet. So he's just going to stand around there. Look at that. I could pull the other leg off. That came off. Those come off a little too easily, and I can't seem to clip this darn vest right back on. So I have to really work that. But there it is. There is the 2-pack, the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 2-pack. I really like it. The game was just so much fun. I really wanted to support it by getting the 2-pack of figures, so I really like it. I know everyone is dying to get a 6-inch Mr. Negative. Maybe in the future, who knows? We'll see. It'd be very easy for Hasbro to do that. They already have the suited body. They would just have to come up with a new mold for the head. So maybe in the future. But there it is. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, I really like to thank you for watching.